Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Sue Seekoff here with Michele Landers for the December new month forecast. We adore Michele at EWN. She's our favorite numerologist, and she will be sharing her insights for the month ahead. Thank you so much, Michele, for being here.
Thank you, Sue. It's always a pleasure. I love everyone at EWN. It's such a wonderful platform, and you guys share so many beautiful, uplifting meditations and videos. So thank you. It's my honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you too. And so we're looking forward to hearing the December forecast, and we invite you to start whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. And here we are. The year flew by, and I was just sitting there scratching my head saying, I really can't believe it that here we are in December. So here we are in December, and December standing alone. We'll talk about the numerology and the astrology. December standing alone is the number 12. So that is 1 plus 2 is 3. So we have that number to consider. But when you add the 12th month to the 8 universal year, you have the number 11. So, and then because we add 8 to 3, and what does that equal? It equals 11. And 11 reduces to the number 2. However, because 11 is a master number in numerology, we don't want to reduce that. So let's talk a little bit about the 11. The 11 is the number, when I say it's a master number, it's a number of heightened spirituality and all the qualities that go with that energy, intuition. If you are spiritually minded, then when you're under that vibration this month of the 11th, it's going to uplift you. If you're not spiritually minded, I mean, everyone is on a spiritual journey, whether they're conscious of it or not. But you may not be feeling, if you're not inclined to go in that direction consciously, you may not feel it as much as other sensitives or empaths. It also illuminates things. So things that need to be revealed usually come out with the number 11. But the number 2 is also something that we really have to look at. The 11 is high-minded. It's more interested in things of a ethereal nature, but 2, on a more practical level, is very much about diplomacy, relationships, balance, and it's about cooperation. It's also about, 2 is behind the scenes. Anybody who has a 2 prominent in their chart, whatever it is they do, they would prefer to be behind the scenes. And they could have very strong leadership abilities. So sometimes I have people with strong 1s, but they also have very strong 2s that override that 1. So they may be a leader, but they're behind the scenes leader, as opposed to a 1-1, which would make somebody who's a leader and wants to be out there telling, saying what to do. So it's just very interesting about the number 2. 2 is very sensitive. So again, we can expect people to be maybe, hopefully, more compassionate. But on the other hand, being sensitive, they could also be more reactive. We're still in this 8 year, and that's still about money, and it's about power. And so the 2 is going to create this month kind of a teeter-tottering of things being balanced and then, out of balance. So we have this back and forth energy this month. It's good and bad for negotiations. It's about compromising and not letting things get to you. It's a very, very, very strong female energy, which is so often associated with waiting and watching. And again, a lot of sensitivity. So I don't have my deck here in front of me. And normally I pull out the deck, but the 11th card of the tarot is justice. And justice is about things being fair, being truthful, and it's also cause and effect. Of course, all numbers have the reverse, and the reverse of the 2 is things not being fair, lack of accountability, dishonesty. Now, the second card of the tarot is the High Priestess, and I just love that card. The High Priestess possesses intuition and sacred knowledge, and if I had the picture of the High Priestess, you would see that, you know, she's kind of quiet in her demeanor, but there is so much going on. It's the divine feminine. It's our subconscious mind. But it's also about secrets being revealed, or also, if we're not careful, it's being disconnected from our intuition. So what you want to do this month with all that 11 and that 2 energy is you really, really want to tap into your intuition. You want to go deep. You want to spend as much time as you can, quiet time, amidst, I know this is a very busy month for many people, and it certainly will be, because the 12, as I started in the beginning, 1 and 2 is 3. So that's a very social month, obviously. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of parties. There's a lot of get-togethers. That's all wonderful, and getting together with people. But there is still going to be this up and down. So as far as the United States is concerned, the United States is in a 4 personal month, in a 1 personal year for the United States. And that brings this coming together of energies that is creating a new foundation. But it also can bring a feeling of, you know, being stuck, like you want to go forward, but you're not sure about things. It's more of a sober type of energy. And we, in a 4 months, and this is, as I said, for the United States, we want to be very deliberate in the things that we do. We don't want to take shortcuts. We have to have patience. We may feel stuck, but like the 1 year is saying, go, 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 go. But the 4 says slow and steady. It is a serious type of energy. And the 4 and the 1 can feel like, wow, I want to get things going, but something is holding us back. Something can be a little bit frustrating. And the whole month is just an interesting month because I have all of this light energy, I feel, and coming together, and people bonding, and people having compassion. And yet we have these, you know, punctuations of things being out of sync or out of control, or, you know, like this isn't working the way I want it to with relationships. So there can be a lot of miscommunication, but that's especially since what? We have Mercury in retrograde. So Mercury has been in retrograde since November 25th, and it's going to stay there until December 15th. And I'm sure by now, anybody who's listening to this, you know what goes along with Mercury in retrograde. We have it so many times during the year. Just be careful about contracts. Be careful about any technology. Watch, you know, back up your computers if you still do that. Things having to do with electronics or anything like that, it can throw a wrench into things. So sometimes we can have these unusual, even solar flares. We may be getting more solar flares. So yesterday on the 1st, we had Sagittarius, a Sagittarius new moon, which is always associated with fresh starts and exciting energy. And we had a trine with Mars. And that's motivating, but with a square with Saturn that we have, that's a little challenging. So even though we have this energy of fresh starts, we might feel like there's some obstacles in the way and the things that we have to get over. So on the 4th, we have Mercury and Sagittarius opposing Jupiter and Gemini. So again, what is Mercury? Mercury is communication. Sagittarius is very uplifting and likes to have good, happy conversations. It's, you know, a lot of energy, but it's opposing Jupiter and Gemini. Now, we love Jupiter because it's expansive, but it expands whatever it is connected to. So Gemini is also communication. So it can bring maybe a little tension in communication. Maybe we're misjudging things. With Jupiter, it can bring an over exuberance or over expansion. So you just don't want to make too many hasty, well, you don't want to make any hasty decisions with the Sun and Sag square Saturn, because that can cause some like internal conflicts. What do I want? What are my responsibilities here? But with those other transits, they also give us a chance to tap into our creativity. And I just want to say that the theme of the month is balance in so many ways, because so many of the transits are, oh, this is great, but this is challenging. So on December 6th, we have Mars in Leo turns retrograde, and Mercury is exactly square Saturn. Well, what do we know about Mars? Mars can cause tempers to fly, tempers to be triggered. So just take a pause, just take a breath before reacting. Now, I will say, though, that a retrograde can put like a little bit of a break on Mars aggressiveness. So that helps. And Mars in Leo can have us questioning what makes us feel really good. What makes our passion, what really makes us passionate? What are our passions? So that's a good day to look at what do you have inside of you that needs to be birthed or needs to be created, because this is a really good month to bring a lot of that to light. But on another note, just be careful. Don't rush into anything new. Don't be careful of conflicts again. It isn't a good day to make any commitments. So you just want to say, somebody says, well, can you commit to that? Unless they absolutely demand that you have to, put it on the line, I'd say, well, let me think about that for a little bit. December 7th, Venus enters my favorite sign, because I'm an Aquarius, the main sign of Aquarius, and it conjuncts Pluto in Aquarius, which that's the big story right now, which I've gone into before. I'm not going to talk about it today. I will talk about it again for January. So what is Aquarius? Aquarius is the humanitarian, but it's also about rebellion and revelation, and it's about transformation. It's an energy of feeling like we want to go deep. We want to get to the bottom of it. We want to know what's being done. We want to hear more. We want that information. But it's also about, listen, whatever you hear, listen to it with an open mind. Be very open-minded. Now, Neptune goes direct, and we know, what is Neptune? Neptune likes to go deep. So it can, with all of that energy, we can be questioning a lot of things, but it really can bring up some clarity to whatever it is that we're dealing with. And it could be on a global level as well. And I just want to mention, on a global level, there is this very kind of unsettled energy going on. I don't think I'm telling anybody anything that they don't already know. It's just interesting with that 2 energy in the world. That's what's going on. December 11th, it's a little bit of a challenging day for agreements. So you might find that you're in a situation where you just can't agree on whatever it is that's coming up, but try to compromise. Really put yourself out there and say, okay, wait a minute, let me think about this for a minute. Maybe there's another way to do this. It can be enthusiastic, though, with Gemini, as the Gemini full moon is about to take place. But just be the kind of person that says, okay, let me see if there's another way I can do this. Now, on the 12th of December, we have Venus opposing Mars in Leo, and that can just feel, again, what's Venus? Venus is beautiful, but it opposes Mars in Leo, and Mars is feisty, and Leo is feisty. So we might feel a little bit tense that day, especially with relationships, close relationships. It definitely is kind of this male versus female energy. Venus is feminine, Mars is masculine. So what I'm thinking is, with that kind of energy, although, as I said, it could bring a little bit of tension into relationships, it's more about male, female, or it could be significant other, your close significant, person in your life. So just be on the lookout for that. On the 15th, full moon in Gemini, and that coincides with Mercury going direct. And this is great for tidying up things, cleaning up things, and relationships. What's true? What's real? It's great for communication, getting clear on things. That could be a good day to have those conversations, about, hey, you know what, I just really need to talk to you about something. It's clean up, clear out, whatever it is that you need. That's a great day for that, with the full moon in Gemini. And it's great in any full moon, is get rid of what's not working as much as you can. On the 18th, we have Sun in Sag, square Neptune in Pisces. Again, this can lead to confusion, some conflict, misunderstandings. Be very, very aware of traveling that day. Just be extra careful. So, and I just want to make it clear, all of these things have to do with the world as a whole, but also, you kind of vet it down to us individually. So depending on the placement of our planets as well in our personal chart, you may be feeling this to a greater or a lesser degree, but the energy is definitely there. December 19th, we have Venus in Aquarius and a trine with Jupiter and Gemini. I love that day. It's just a really positive aspect. It should be good for all things. It's more optimistic. Excuse me. It's good for getting out with people, celebrating, socializing. Yeah, I really like that day. And December 21st, we have the winter solstice. That's the official first day of winter. And even here in Florida, it feels like winter. It was like 45 degrees this morning. No kidding. So I always post this meme, and it's got Leonardo DiCaprio in this big bear thing. That's what we are in Florida if it hits below 60. So we have the sun in Capricorn. Now, the sun in Capricorn, they want to get down to business. It's good for list making, organization. Capricorn can be serious and focused. And I imagine for a lot of people, last minute details that need to be taken care of. So that energy is definitely there. People are going to be really busy getting things together, organizing things. And December 25th, Christmas Eve, the 24th, the 25th, overall, I like it. I think it's a nice energy. I mean, there's a little bit of a challenging aspect. I know it can bring a little bit of confusion, but just chill and just relax. Okay, so somebody says, oh, I can't come. And you go, oh my gosh, I've got settings for this many people. I got food for this many people, or whatever it is. You might be thrown off kilter a little bit by some plans. Somebody might change plans and it may not fit in with what you want, but just try to be chill, have a nice holiday. And December 30th, we finish with a second new moon, and it's called a black moon. It's in the sign of Capricorn. And again, Capricorn is determined, it's a solid thinker, and it's such a great time, if you haven't already, to make your New Year's resolutions. Okay, what else did I have that was significant? Jupiter and Saturn, time collectively on the 29th. Oh, Chiron, the so-called wounded healer, goes direct, but there's a new moon. And so it kind of brings everything up to be looked at. So all in all, it is a month of focusing on relationships and a kind of this energy of people saying, feeling like they have to do something or do something more, or they want to get ahead in things. But it's a very, very much like the Dr. Dolittle push-pull animal. Like you're going this way and it's great, and then something pulls you back. But I think overall, I don't think there's going to be any major upheavals this month. Maybe on the world stage in other countries, but I think here for us, and individually, you know, it's a nice energy. It's really a nice energy and a compassionate, if you can tap into that compassionate side of you and that intuitive side of you, you will really sail through the month. And I just want to mention a couple of things. Anybody, this is a great time to get your chart done for 2025. And if you get my newsletter, I do believe there is a special in there. So if you don't get my newsletter, please check out michellelanders.com and sign up. And you will also get on there, you can get the general energy for 2025 and your personal year. And I show you how to figure that out. But it's great to get a chart done. It's a great gift for someone else for the holidays. Wow, to let them know, hey, you know, what does numerology do? Well, it gives you kind of a roadmap for the year. What's going on in your life? Is it exact? No, none of them are exact because there's free will and there's predestination. And I also will mention in somebody's chart if something is destined or a fateful type of situation. But for the most part, we have a lot of, you know, we can choose to go with the energy of the year or we could buck it. If you're in a 1 year, a one personal year, that is the year not to sit back. If you were thinking about doing something, I would say in a 1 year, you better go do it because that energy is going to propel you forward. And if you sit back and say, oh, you may waste the whole year, and not that you can't do it at a future date, but why not go along with that energy that is propelling you? The same thing in a 2 year, for someone, that is not the year to push. That is not, if you want to get something done or you want to launch something, you have to be very methodical about it. I mean, you really have to always be methodical when you're planning to launch something. But what I'm saying is you have to be kind of extra careful and more about saying, okay, I got to have a lot of patience with this. So again, it's just a great gift. I also offer a free 15-minute consultation for whatever you want to talk about in the spiritual realm or numerology, hypnotherapy, coaching. I'm a board certified life coach. And I'll be happy to speak with anybody for free for 15, sometimes 20 minutes. So with that, I just wish everyone a blessed holiday, whatever holiday you're celebrating, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, whatever it is. God bless you all and have a beautiful, beautiful month ahead. So thank you.
Thank you. We wish that for you so well. Thank you for all your insights today. There were some interesting comments. It sounds like things will be a little back and forth, but moving forward. And just the thought that it could be good energy is such a relief for all of us who have been going through the up and downs.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Sue. Yes. Yeah. So this is a month to take a breath and just enjoy the energy of the holiday season. Don't, get into try to avoid at all costs conflicts. And we can do that, right? We can do that.
It's the time of the year to get a little more quiet. It's darker out and
yes.
We can spend more time in quiet if we have that option. I know some of us don't.
Yes. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention that Sue and I had spoken about is I'm going to be offering on EWN a 2-day, it'll be 2 to 2.5 hours each day, so a total of 4 to 5 hours, a numerology workshop. So you can learn the basics of numerology, and by the time you finish it, you can create a basic chart for yourself or someone else. So I will be talking more about that and more of the details. It'll be in February, but it will be on EWN. So I will let EWN know the dates. We'll discuss what dates seem to work for both of us, and then we'll let you know.
Yeah.
So again, thank you so much, Sue. And this has been really wonderful.
Thank you, Michelle. It's been great. And we look forward to the month ahead with insight and Thank you for offering a numerology workshop in February. That's fascinating. I would love to learn more about numerology myself.
Well, I hope you're there. You are
Yeah,
invited.
thank you. And
Yeah.
I will work with you on getting a date for that, and we'll let people know.
Okay, that sounds
Okay.
wonderful.
So thank you again, Michele, for being here today. And to all of you who are listening to us on live or on a replay, we are so grateful to have you with our community. Please do come back. We have daily meditations and dialogues and great community for you to connect with. So do check out our schedule and join us again sometime. Thank you.